Well, hello everyone, sports fans. This is Count Baker TV here. So, time to tell you all my thoughts about the Florida Panthers repeating as Stanley Cup champions. That's right, they are Stanley Cup champions for a second straight year and defeating the same exact team as they did the previous year, defeating the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games to get their second straight Stanley Cup. Uh, and yeah, and pretty amazing. So for Florida, back-to-back Stanley Cups, and they were in it for a third straight year also. And man, for the Oilers, back-to-back Stanley Cup losses to the same exact team, and losing both in Florida. So and yeah, and what heartbreak for the Oilers. I mean, to make it that far back to the Stanley Cup final, and against the same exact team, hoping that they could get revenge and become Stanley Cup champions for the first time in like 30, almost 40 years. And they couldn't do it. They won the first game in overtime, 4-3. Then the Panthers won game 2 in overtime. Panthers then in game 3 scored 6 goals. And then the Oilers in game 4 made a huge comeback, rallying from 3 goals down, and then won in overtime on a goal by Leon Draisaitl to tie the series up 2-2 back to Edmonton. But then Florida dominated game 5. In Edmonton, won 5-2, and so they were just a win away from repeating, and they did it. They won in rather lopsided fashion, 5-1, in which forward Sam Reinhart registered 4 goals in that game. So it was it felt like somewhat of a lopsided series in the games that the Panthers won. And yeah, Reinhart was not the Conn Smythe Trophy as MVP of the playoffs. That went to forward Sam Bennett, who in the playoffs, in this year's playoffs, Sam Bennett had 15 goals, 22 points overall, and yeah, so he was named a Conn Smythe Trophy winner. So yes, I mean, congratulations to the Florida Panthers repeating as Stanley Cup champions. This is the second time second time this decade overall that a team has won back-to-back Stanley Cups. In 2020 and 21, the Tampa Bay Lightning were Stanley Cup champions back-to-back. So yeah, the every year since 2020, the Stanley Cup has featured a team from Florida, oddly enough. So, and yeah, so I definitely do kind of wish that the Oilers won. And would have seen a different team win. So, but it is what it is, and yeah, the Panthers, they didn't even have home ice advantage in any of their series in the playoffs, I don't think. Yeah, so, and for them to start every series on the road, and they won in the conference finals rather easily against the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round. They were down 2-0 to the Toronto Maple Leafs, then won in 7 games. The Maple Leafs, their long playoff drought continues. They haven't made a conference finals in 20 years. They haven't made a Stanley Cup final in like 30-some years, if not longer. So, and yeah, and this Panthers team winning second straight Stanley Cup with almost the exact same players. So, yeah, I mean, they had a few additions, but, they had the majority. Their first line was pretty much exactly the same. So, and, yeah, and also now Oilers forward and 40-year-old Corey Perry now has lost 5 straight Stanley Cups. Uh, he's won one, but that was all the way back in like 2007 with the Anaheim Ducks. So that's a pretty bad luck, losing 5 straight Stanley Cup Finals. So, uh, or actually 5 of 6 Stanley Cup Finals of the last 6. So that's a definitely bad look for him, and something definitely don't want to be a part of. So, but yeah, so and the Panthers also led by the St. Louis native Matthew Tkachuk, so he's now a 2-time Stanley Cup winner. So, but yeah, so now the off season, and St. Louis Blues, of course, had an outstanding season, making it to the playoffs and losing, unfortunately, in 7 games to the Winnipeg Jets, but it was still one heck of a season. So now the schedule for this upcoming season, schedule should be released relatively soon. I think maybe by 4th of July is when it could be out, right around that time. So, but yeah, so what you guys think about the Florida Panthers winning their 2nd straight Stanley Cup against the same team, the Edmonton Oilers. So, anyway, till next season, Count saying, stay tuned for more videos.